This 1991 Pontiac Firebird has been sitting in this wrecking yard for the past 10 plus years. Have no idea if it runs, no idea if it drives. Usually, when things end up here, it's because they don't. And they've got some problems with them. So, I just bought this. So we're going to see if we can get it running and driving, take it out to a car show next weekend. Stay tuned for today's video. All right, cool guys, so welcome back to today's video. So as you've seen in the intro, I just picked up this 1991 Pontiac Firebird. It's been sitting in this wrecking yard for probably about 10 plus years here now. And like as you can see behind me here, usually when these things end up here, it's because they don't run, they don't drive, and they got some kind of issues. Maybe like this one here does, but anyway, this 91 Pontiac Firebird I came across, this thing's in really good shape. I seen it. I was originally looking for parts here for an 89, 87, maybe it's an 82. One of the three. Trans Am package deal I was looking to get in here in the fall for a couple $100. I basically get 2 cars out of that. But yeah, just looking for some spare parts, and I came across this thing, and then seen it, and I was like, you know what? We just can't leave it here. I bet you we can get it to run and drive it right on out of the wrecking yard. So, welcome to today's video. And on top of it, we got a local car show coming up. So I thought, how cool would it be if I can get this thing running, driving, and drive it or take it to the local car show coming up here. So I thought it was a pretty cool idea. So guys, let's flip this camera around and let's check out this 1991 Pontiac Firebird that we're going to get running and driving today. So guys, this is it here, the 91 Pontiac Firebird. I posted a video about this a couple weeks ago. So for any of those who have not seen that video, I'm just going to do a quick walk around on it again, just to show you what we're working with here today. But it's 91 Pontiac Firebird. I believe they only had this nose cone for 2 years maybe. But yeah, it's unique. I don't see this one often at all. Usually it's the other one that I'll show you later on that I see quite a bit of, but this nose cone style, I don't see too much of it all. I think it's only a 2-year option, but correct me if I'm wrong. So like I was saying before, so usually when these vehicles end up here in the wrecking yard, like you can see this one tipped over here, how this one's in that kind of shape, so forth and such. Usually there's issues with them. I'm trying to figure out, well, what's the issue with this Firebird? So reading up online, I think I might have figured it out, but we've got something in this vehicle called VATS, Vehicle Anti-Theft System. So, and apparently if you don't got the proper keys or you don't have the keys, you're really not supposed to be able to get these things fired up. And I don't have keys for it. So I ordered an ignition key for it so I can get it into drive and such, and did some Firebird 3rd gen Camaro research on the old YouTube, and I think we can get that fired up regardless. So anyway, if that wasn't the issue and why it's here, it might be this other thing I found out. So apparently on these 3rd gen Camaros, Trans Ams, and Firebirds, so they conveniently, for the fuel, they conveniently have the fuel pump not up front where you can really get access to it, but it's inside the fuel tank. And it's really not too bad. Like if your fuel pump ever went on your 3rd gen Camaro, Trans Am, or Firebird, it's really easy to fix. All you really have to do is simply remove the wheels and tires, drop your axle, drop your exhaust. Once the exhaust is out of the way, then you can pull out the fuel tank. The fuel tank will come down, easily slide out of the way. So from there, it's just at that point, once you've got the fuel tank out of the way, you can simply slide in a new fuel pump, slide it back up, slide your axle back on, throw your tires back on, put your exhaust back on at some point in time, and you're good to go. So with that simple process, sometimes people don't want to do it. It's understandable, but if it wasn't the VATS system, it might be the bad fuel pump. Why it's here. But oh yeah, I can't siphon the old fuel out of there apparently either. There's gonna be old gas in there. So, but we're gonna figure it out. We'll get it figured. So let's take a look at the rest of the car now. So other than those two minor possible problems, there might not be a problem. They might be all right. The rest of the car is in fantastic shape, and that's why I simply couldn't let it sit here. So like I said before, I did get another ignition, an ignition key. I'm going to go actually over to this car here. So this is the reason I was coming down here. I got 2 Trans Ams I'm able to pick up later this summer. I can probably build 2 cars out of it. I just need to get the front end piece from this one. But this Firebird over here, she's got a nicer steering wheel in it. That's going to refurbish. So I'm going to take that steering column because I'm going to need the steering wheel and this chunk here. And if I need that, might as well just get the rest of it. So I'm going to get that steering column out of that car. So get the steering column out of this car here. Put my new ignition set in this older model steering column. Has a nicer wheel. And then from there, we're going to go back over to this car here and slide it into the 91 Pontiac Firebird. And the reason for it is just my personal preference. This one's got the old Pontiac Montana van looking steering wheel with the airbag in it. It's not as sporty. So I'd rather have the other sportier looking one. But other than that though, like this interior in this car, other than like just a little bit there on the driver's side, is an immaculate shape. I give this like 97 out of 100. This is in really good condition. Like the seats are not all ripped and torn. The carpet looked brand new underneath the floor mat. It's brand new, that gray color. The seats in the back are all good. Headliner's in wicked shape. The dash is in fantastic shape, other than this a little bit, but we can fix on that. Won't be too bad. So the kilometers on the car, they're sitting at 213,788, I think is what that says from that viewpoint. But this thing is in wicked shape. It's in fantastic for that many kilometers, and for the interior to be in this shape. Like it's like the center console is not all hacked up, and the dash pad's in wicked shape, and the door panels are in fantastic condition. The door panel over there is in fantastic shape, and all the plastic's all great, and it's not all scratched and scuffed. So I definitely couldn't leave this car sitting here looking like that, because it's in fantastic condition. So for the exterior of the car, so like the front bumper's in wicked shape for it there too. It's not cracked or dinged or split or nothing like that. The majority of the body panels going down the side of the car in really nice shape. There's very minor damages. Like there's some little bit of stuff here on the corner section here, a little bit on the the spoiler there too, and on the rear bumper, probably from when it got put in here. That you can see right there, probably got hit or something in here. But that's in wicked shape. The paint's still in good condition here too. It's got a little minor section right here on the front fender. It's got a little minor ding down here on the rear quarter panel. The wheels are all original wheels. They're still looking all good. The caps are all on. Decent tread. The hood is in good shape too. Like, the hood's not all smucked in or nothing like that either, so it's good condition as well. This is where it starts to get kind of iffy. So right up in here, it's just a bit wrinkled a bit, but not too bad. Like, if I didn't want to do the body work and the hammer and dolly work to fix this, I think realistically, like, a new panel for this is, I don't know, maybe $125 or something like that for a brand new front fender on these. So they're really not that much. Rock Auto, Classic Industries, you can get them fairly cheap. So even if I didn't want to do the body work, I can get a brand new fender for it. But the rest of it's in pretty good shape. Like, the door is in fantastic condition here. The rocker panel down there looks to be in really great shape. And just a little bit in the quarter panel over here in this quarter panel section. And judging from that, it's probably because somebody had something inside the car that was kind of flailing around, a jack or something. Because a lot of these are high spots that you can see here. And the high spot's going to be from hitting inside. But even like if I wanted to get a replacement quarter panel piece once again, I think it's like $225 or something for the whole section, which is not too bad. And it's got a nice set of window louvers. There we go. That's the proper word. I guess they're not that nice after all. They're a bit cracked. But it's got this really nice light in the back though. So that's a bonus. It's got T-tops too, which is nice. Love T-tops. I had an 83 Camaro in high school. It didn't have the T-tops, so I'm loving the T-top look on it. Windshield's a bit cracked, but other than that though, very minor stuff. Wouldn't take much to get this thing painted on back on the road. So let's go ahead and pop that engine bay and check out that motor there now. So in this car here, so it's a Pontiac, as you see by the bird. Pontiac 305 TBI throttle body injection motors. Which one this is? I believe it is. I'll find out when I take off that air breather. But as you see here, these are notorious for the shocks not working. So I'm going to quickly find me a third gen Camaro Trans Am hood prop. So the good thing about the being in a wrecking yard here is when you're looking for a third gen Camaro Trans Am hood prop, they're usually pretty easy to find. Like that looks pretty good. So I found a pretty solid prop there out of the back of that Murcielago. It's a fine looking unit. Anyways, so got a spare battery for it there today. She looks to be in pretty good shape. It's all complete. Everything's all here. Everything's all plugged in. And judging from the interior of the car, I don't think there's going to be a lot of messing around with it. I'm pretty sure someone just lost the keys and didn't want to pay for all the vehicle anti-theft inspection stuff and just said, well, never mind, I'll take $250 for it and come pick it up. So let's go ahead now and let's start checking some of these fluids, seeing if the car's got stuff in it, see what we're playing with today. Let's check out and see what we got for some engine oil over here. So engine oil is really clean. Really clean. Did someone park this here on purpose? I don't know. Did it get an oil? This is just ridiculous. That's some real. I don't even need to change the oil on this thing. Check this out. So that's the engine oil that's in the car, and that's super clean. So go ahead and we'll grab the transmission fluid here. Pull this up. Just see what it looks like. Check it again once we get it running. But oh yeah, she's looking not bad at all either. There's no terrible smell on that. So do check this rad fluid here. Let's see what we got in the rad, if there's fluid in the rad even. There it is. But she's full, and that's green. That's looking super. That some pretty good indication so far that this car should run. Check that power steering fluid out next. Reach down here and get that power steering fluid. Check it out. Oh, and that is full, and that is some clean fluid in there as well, so that's a good sign. So the only thing I'm really seeing in this engine compartment so far that's kind of iffy is just these basically the cracks in the serpentine belt. Like that belt is cracked up pretty good. And I just noticed this over here too when I was checking the rad and engine oil. But there's these little sensor plug-ins that are not they're not plugged in. But other than that though, everything else is looking pretty good. So go ahead and we'll check that brake fluid there now. See what we got. Both of those are full. So that's a good sign there too. Like, perfect. So the only thing left to do would just be to see how this air breather's looking. So I'm just gonna knock. In the off chance there's someone home, see him exiting the house, but doesn't look to be anyone inside. So we'll take a look at this here, and this is probably clean. Like this, bet you this was replaced just before it was parked. It's almost got to be at this point, like the way everything else is. It pretty much is. That's ridiculous. So there's the air filter that's coming out of this car, and this is like pretty much this is brand new. That's brand new. Like, that's pretty much a brand new air filter that's on this car here too. So I'm really curious as to what happened with this car, because it looks to be super well maintained. I'm really happy I'm picking this thing up, because for all these little signs and stuff like that, to me that seems like a very well maintained car, and this deserves to be back on the road 100%. So went ahead here, we checked all the fluid out. So the engine oil, the transmission, power steering, antifreeze, all looking fantastic shape. The oil is brand new, the air filter is brand new too. This car was well maintained. The interior is fantastic shape. Like someone came out here a couple days ago and detailed it. Like it's looking that good. So I was kind of just sitting here trying to think, what's the story with this car? What's the backstory on it? And the only thing I really come up with, because I don't see the original owner or the owner person who cared for it letting it come here. So I'm thinking that maybe someone passed away or something like that. So whoever owned this before was a car guy, 100%. The way it's been well maintained. 100% a car guy owned this. And I think maybe, someone might have passed away. It got left in the hands of someone who was not a car person, and they just had no interest in it. And maybe that's how it ended up here, which is a shame, because this thing's in wicked shape. So at least, I came across it so we can get this thing revived, get it back on the road, get it running, driving. And like I said, local car show coming up. So we're going to take it to a car show. Wrecking yard to car show. Let's do it. That's going to make for a fun time. So guys, let's set this camera up here. We're going to throw a ratchet wrench on the crank, get this motor rotating. And I'm 100% sure she's going to rotate right on over. It's going to be good. So now we'll throw a crank. So we got everything all checked up here. Let's throw a ratchet on the crank, which is super easy to get to. This is not like the Chevy truck at all. But let's see what we can get going over here. Oh, I think she moved there a second ago. Oh, there it is. There she goes. There it is. Oh yeah, that was a good one there. Oh, right on. Let's see if I can get a couple rotations out of this, make sure it's not hung up. That's rotating. Perfect, right on. Right on, that's good to see. Yeah. All right, so that motor's, so she's rotating pretty free. I don't feel it hanging up anywhere specifically. Like that's going through super nice right now. I kind of figured so with the way that all the fluids were. So give that a couple more rotations here. Oh yeah, that's good. So now that I got that all rotating, the motor's all spinning freely here. I guess we're gonna have to deal with the vehicle anti-theft system and no keys to figure that portion out. But first, I think I'm gonna pull a couple of these spark plugs just to check them out. They're probably gonna be brand new and changed, to be honest with you, the way the rest of the fluid's looking. But pull a couple of those spark plugs, and then I'll see if I can. We'll probably have to deal with the vanny. Where's that PA system? I need to get my ass back to English class there. Vanny pack. Anyway, yeah, let's check out a couple spark plugs, and then we'll deal with the vehicle anti-theft system. So go ahead and we'll just check a couple of these spark plugs here. Pretty sure they're gonna be in pretty good shape though. So this is the first spark plug I pulled out. This was just the one that's sitting right behind the power steering pump right in there. But this is how it was looking. It's got that white soot on it, and it's rusted up in here a bit. So probably end up changing out these spark plugs here for this vehicle when I get a chance. I'm surprised this is actually not brand new here. So anyway, pull a couple more, see if they're looking like this one here as well. And then we'll go forward from there. So just pulling the second spark plug behind it there. Quickly take a look at this one here and see how it's looking as well. So I've gone ahead, pulled the second spark plug here now. So it's looking about the same as the first one here. It's just got the corrosion just down here and the white soot up here too. So they're looking about the same condition. Probably end up changing all the spark plugs out on this here too. The one down at the back, down here, it's gonna be hard to get to. My arm's not quite that small, but nonetheless, get a new set of spark plugs for the car. The spark plug wire is looking pretty good there right now too. So let's go ahead and pull one or two on this side and check those out. So just going to check this last plug here on the passenger side, check it out, see how it's looking. So up here on the passenger side, so I got the spark plug out. They're basically essentially all looking the same here. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to slide this back on in there, and then I got two options: deal with the VATS or deal with the fuel. So I think what I'm going to do first here is going to deal a little bit with the VATS system. Going to get this steering wheel off here, get that airbag out the way before I put any kind of charge on this damn thing, because I don't want the airbag going when I'm messing around with the steering column. Get that airbag out the way and that steering wheel. Take that lock cylinder out, get that out of the way there too. At least that way I should be able to push the car into accessory mode. And if everything works, it's going to tell me exactly from the gauges how much fuel I got in this fuel tank here. Maybe there's not a lot. Maybe I don't have to siphon it out. Best case scenario. Let's get to doing that. And then I thought too, so with the VATS system, what I have seen as well is I watched Derek Vice Grip Garage, and he had a white, I think it was like an 82 or 85 IROC Z Camaro. It was having kind of the same issues. It wouldn't work because the VATS system on the cylinder was not working correctly from the cab. But he was able to put his trigger starter on the battery here and get it fired up from outside the car. So I'm thinking I might be able to do the same thing once I'm able to get the car going. Or sorry, once I'm able to get that lock cylinder out, I can push it into, you know, accessories or whatever to free up the transmission to get it shifting. And I should be able to, at that point, put a trigger starter on the battery and start it from here. And it might bypass the VATS. If that don't work, I'll have to take that VATS box out, take the relay switch out, and then I got a connected wire directly to directly to the starter, and I think it bypasses the system. But we'll get that steering wheel out first and follow up with all those ideas and see how it turns out. So I do got some help down here today. It's got another shop dog hanging out there with me, and I swear just every time they out here, I just like to sleep on the job. But that's all right. So getting this airbag piece off. So in behind the steering wheel here, you got 2 slots. There's one right there, one up here, and then 2 more on the other side. And they're torque 25s. T25 is the... Why is it not showing? Oh yeah, it's because it's on this thing and you can't see it. But anyway, you got 2 T25 torque. You are 4 in total. 1, 2, 3, 4. Take those off, and that's how you remove this airbag system here. So once you've loosened up all 4 bolts on the sides and behind the steering wheel there, this column piece should just pop out like that, and you're able to pull the pin up there, unplug that airbag system so it doesn't pop or nothing like that. You never know with those things. You just hook a charge to it, bang. Just would not be good. So now that we got that giant steering wheel piece out the way, and whatever that is fell off it, I can get my wrench. I can start taking out the steering column, get this nut out, work our way down to the ignition piece there and get that out of the way too. So I just got this 13/16 bolt here to take out. And once that's off, I'll get my steering wheel puller in here and then put it in these 2 holes here, and I'll pop that wheel right off the spines. So I went ahead and put the steering wheel puller on. So if you haven't done it before, so you got these 2 little bolts that go into the steering wheel itself. Then you got this piece that screws right into that center section. So what it does when you throw a 5/8, I think that's 5/8. Let's see what it says. Oh yeah, 5/8. So when you throw a 5/8 wrench on there, what it's going to do is it's going to pull the steering wheel off the spines that are in there. This one's pretty tight though. A lot of movement in that. Damn. Hold on a sec. There we go. Just need to use 2 hands there for a second. But now you can see that it's all loose here. So I pulled that steering wheel off the spines, and I'm referring to the piece that's right in there. So you can see those little ridges there. But anyway, that's what it does. It pulls those off there. So every time you ratchet on it, you should pull that piece free. And then basically this whole steering wheel should be able to pop right off there now. So now that we have the steering wheel off, you think that you'd be able just a couple screws get in there. No, not done yet. So there's this little, if you see it there, it's just a little clip right up in there. So now you got to grab one of these compression plate tools, stick it on here, free up that ring. So give me 2 seconds and I'll get that started. So I went ahead and I put the compression plate tool on. So all it is this screws in to that spine piece right over here, and then you just use the little wing nut, and the more you turn this, what it does is it creates a gap right behind that little spring clip. So then you can stick a pick in there and pull that out, and that'll release this section of the steering wheel. So when I was at Princess Auto the other day, I specifically bought another pick set so I can get in there, put this through the piece, pull on it, use another one to go through this way, separate it, and easily just pull it back. But yeah, I left that at home. So I went ahead and put the So I picked up this pick set for removing the fine pieces of the steering wheel tomorrow. This will come in really handy. Better put it somewhere where I won't forget it there. So I was able to get that pin out. So what I did was I used the one piece, the one pick piece I had. The other ones I forgot at home. I won't forget it there. And I'm using this screwdriver, and I was just able to slide it down there, separate it just a bit so it's lined above there. But anyway, now we got this slid out, we can undo this system here, remove the lock plate piece or the lock plate compression tool, and we can remove this here, and this section will come out, and we'll be able to get down to the last bit of plastic that has the lock cylinder. So once you get that clip out of the way, this section just pulls off on the steering wheel. Then you're left with this here. So you gotta slide this other piece here up front, get that out of the way. Then you're left with this clip here. So then you gotta release that C clip, and that should release this black section here. So here's where this tool, the compression lock tool, or compression lock plate, steering wheel plate, I gotta read the package. But anyways, here's where this tool comes in handy. So when you put that on, you can see there, now you got some play where that ring is. So now you can stick a pick or something in there and basically try and separate these two, pull it back so you can slide it down here. So that's what I'll work on for the next little while. So I got my pick in there, got it twisted to get on that C-clip. Here's where the other one that I bought specifically for this would have came in handy. This will come in really handy. Better put it somewhere where I won't forget it there. So I just do the same thing on the other side and pull that out the way, and we'd be done by now. So pull that C-clip right off of there. This black piece just kind of slides right out of the way. Put that somewhere where you can use it again. This white piece comes out. Now you're left with this. So we're almost to the ignition cylinder right now. So I think you just got to remove that 1, 2, 3 Phillips screwdrivers. This section will come out, and then I believe it's only, I think it's that Phillips screwdriver screw that's holding in that ignition cylinder. So let's go ahead and take those all out. So there's the last screw there. So this piece just slides out. So when it's slid out, so there's some wires to be aware of in behind there if you're removing everything. But now that I got access to ignition key, or sorry, to the ignition cylinder, I can just take the Torx screws and remove this unit here. So now that I got that T20 bolt removed, it's going to free up my ignition cylinder here. So this ignition cylinder, I don't got keys for it, right? So it's useless to me. So that pops out the way. And what I'm able to do now is, if you take a look inside here, you can see right where that orange tab is I got my transmission piece. I can stick a flathead screwdriver in there. And I can turn it. What that does is, if you see that top piece here, that's for the park, accessories, ignition. But now that I got it, accessories, I can sit here and I can get access to move my transmission, see if this car drives or not without the keys. So we got our brand new set of keys in there right now. For now, anyways. So now I can put a battery in underneath the hood here. I can turn my brand new set of keys to ignition, or to accessories rather, and we can see what comes up on this fuel tank here, and I'll have an idea how much fuel I'm going to have to drain. Maybe it won't be that much. That would be great. So I was able to go ahead and I tore out that steering column, got us a brand new set of flathead maximum keys for this thing. She can be put into park, neutral, everything else. Now, more importantly, they can be put into accessories, so I can check the I can check the fuel tank, see how much fuel might be in there. Maybe I don't have to siphon it. That would be great. So I'm gonna go do that. So I'm gonna go quickly go down to the truck, grab a brand new battery I got sitting there, plug it into the Firebird, see what this thing's got for electricity. And this 91 Firebird. But first, I got this air tank here. Where is it? There it is. I got this air tank and I gotta walk down to the truck. Might as well put something back. So I'm gonna quickly throw some air in the tires while I'm here with this thing so I can put this back in the truck. Save myself less trips, you know, try and get, what's the saying? 2 birds stoned at once, I think is what it is. Is that the saying? I don't know. Correct me if I'm wrong in the comment section. But anyways, throw some air in the tires here. See which ones are holding air. So the passenger side front tire, that's still holding air after 10 years, which is really remarkable. But the driver's side, she is not. So let's throw some air in this one. Let's go ahead and get that cap off there. So get that grass out the way. It sounds like it's taking some air. Really iffy looking though. Let's not fill that too much. There's a little, you know what? It's holding air. I don't know what's got the PSI, but she's holding air though, that's for sure. So I don't know if you can tell or not, but this one's on a grate. It's pretty questionable if this is going to hold air. I'm going to say it's probably not going to, but we'll find out anyway. That's holding air. That's holding air down there. And that's super surprising. So got the new battery picked up. So let's go ahead now. Get this old one out of here. Yep. Come on now. There we go. So new battery going in. Perfect. Quickly hook that up. So got the negative terminal hooked up. I'm gonna hook up the positive here. Oh, we've got something beeping or buzzing. Something's definitely buzzing. But the important thing is nothing's smoking. So just lightly connected that terminal. So what it is, I guess, is the lights are on. So let's go turn those off. Cool guys, so we're back inside the car. So battery's hooked up. Got my maximum key there. Turn it over here into accessories. So we got a fasten seatbelt, that makes sense. Got good charge on the battery. The fuel, I hope, is not 3/4 full. Hopefully that goes down. So I think what we're going to do, we're going to call it a day there. They're closing here right away. So I'll come back here tomorrow and we'll see if we can get the vehicle fired up from the engine bay. All right, cool guys. So that's going to be it for day one here. We got electricity going to the Firebird here now. Like I thought, you won't be able to turn it over because the VATS system. So tomorrow we'll come back here. We'll try and hook it up to a trigger up to the battery. See if we can get it fired up. But I'm not liking how it said 3/4 of the way full for fuel though. So we might have to address that issue tomorrow. Try and siphon all that gas out there first thing. So, all right guys. Well, I'll catch you back here for day 2 tomorrow. And it's supposed to be raining. I hope that's not right. Cool guys. So we're back here for day number 2 on the Firebird. Got electricity running the battery. Got the motor freed up, rotating. Got the steering column hacked into. And by hacked, I mean strategically, precisionally taken apart. and we can start that thing now. Well, not start it, but turn it to accessories and stuff, free up the transmission with the screwdriver. So before I hook up a trigger to the battery this morning, the fuel gauge was reading 3/4 of the way full. So let's go ahead, get the car up off the ground, get the rear tire off on the driver's side, and see if we can get to siphoning some of that old fuel out of this car. And hopefully, the fuel pump is not the issue on this car, and why it's here, because it takes a little bit to change out. So good news is 3 of those 4 tires I filled up yesterday are holding there, except for the back one, which probably got punctured by that steel gate piece that's buried in the grass there. So there's not a whole lot of room under this car. There's a giant wood mound, or dirt mound, I guess, not wood, but it's preventing me from getting a jack underneath there. There's a little spot there, but not too much on this side. So I think what we're going to try and do is over on the passenger side, there's not as, I got a little bit more clearance down here. So we'll toss a jack underneath here. I should be able to get a jack underneath this portion here, and then put some wood and stuff up underneath all the tires. I'm kind of slowly work my way up so we can raise this car a bit so I can get that back wheel off on the other side. So I got this pretty sweet jack here, low profile jack from Princess Auto. It's got the roller in the front, and whenever you're doing stuff like this all the time on the grass, she makes it super easy to roll into where you need to get it, so you can start lifting the vehicle up pretty easily here. This vehicle jacked up there. Just put that down there, and it'll keep that tire up, so whenever I lower it, gain about that much height there. Now let's go around the other portions of the car, do the same thing, get a tire lifted up off the ground. So there's probably like a little 3-inch, 4-inch hole where it's sank into the ground. Also, it's good to see that everything's rotating on there, nothing's all stacked up. So while it's up in the air, go ahead, I'll fill that gap up with a solid piece of wood, so when I let it down, so the tire stays up on the ground here and doesn't sink back in that hole. And when I pull my jack away, then I got a bunch more space on this side. So now that I've done that to the one passenger side, head over and I'll do that to the driver's side. So the car, as you can see, so it's a bit slanted down to this side. Now that I got everything up on that side over there, I still can't get to this section here because of this huge dirt mound here, and this tire is holding air. That's solid. There's a place I could probably reach up front underneath, but I just don't have a piece of wood with me, like a 4x4 chunk or something that I normally have, but I do got that section in there. So I'm going to try and jack this out the best I can and really see if we can get this car tilted more like that so I can get some wood underneath this front here. So I was able to get my jack up underneath the frame piece. So there's a piece of steel. You can't really see it on the screen. I'll show you maybe afterwards, but there's a piece of steel that's everywhere. It's probably 8 feet by 12 feet. Maybe it might have been like a grater for a field or something. But that's what the back half of this car is backed onto. So I'm gonna get this up. As a bonus, while I'm here, the tire is rotating pretty nicely here. You know, it might look a bit ugly, but it's really truly what it's in the inside that counts. So as long as she holds a bit of air, I'm gonna be all right with it. That other wheel is, she's spinning nice and free, so it's not all seized up, which is a good sign there. So definitely running into trouble with those locking wheel nuts. And like everything else in the car, I don't have the locking wheel nut key for it. So we ran into some issues today with the locking wheel nuts. I left here to go into town to go see if I can find one at Napa Canadian Tire bumper to bumper. It's the only thing. It's only 3 things we got here. But I found a set. It's supposed to work at Canadian Tire. Got it here. It does not. So I'll be returning that right now. Napa's ordering a piece in. It's going to be here in the morning. So I'm going to have to wait, which I hate waiting. So I'm going to have to wait till tomorrow. Come back here, strip off those locking wheel nuts, and yeah, remove those, get siphoning the fuel tank out, and hook up a starter trigger to the battery. See if we can get this thing fired over. And it's raining, so I don't care about working in the rain, because at least it's not snowing. But damn it, I hate waiting. Oh well. Okay, we'll catch you guys there tomorrow. So ran into some issues yesterday. Ran into the locking wheel nuts on these Firebirds. Anyways, tried Canadian Tire bumper to bumper Napa, and none of them had a locking wheel nut removal kit or a bolt extractor kit. So anyway, managed to get this 20 mil piece here, and with the 20, as long as you tap it with a hammer, she'll slide right over, and then able to throw the impact gun on it, and the impact gun, there we go, loosen that right up so I can take this damn locking wheel nut off. So now I can go ahead, I can remove my tires, get my jack stands all set up underneath here so I can get siphoning this tank of fuel. Beautiful. And I'll get this out the way. So now I got that out the way. So the fuel lines are just right up under here, the back side there. So you can see them right here. It's got the jack supporting this here, same with a piece of 6x6 and a rim there as well. Same with the jack stands on the inner side there too. Taking the weight so I can go underneath here now safely there. And there's my connection there. Pop that off and we'll put my siphon pump on it. Disconnected that line right there that you see in front of you in the center. So I disconnected that, hooked it up here to my hose, and started to siphon. And she's already pulling fuel out here. I just gave it one pump right now. But anyway, we'll go ahead and we'll start pumping here and see how much of this old fuel we can get out of this fuel tank. So these hoses here too, they were the same size. So this size here and the one that coming off the fuel tank were the same size. But we managed just to see that little vacuum line there. I just grabbed that vacuum line off the carburetor for now, just so you can connect both of them together. So it just goes to show, like, you come across an issue like that, like the fuel lines, the pieces I removed were the same size. Just take 2 seconds out and you can go, you can source your parts and find things you need to make things work. If I wanted to get up underneath the car a bit more, I could have stuck it onto the metal fuel line coming right out of the tank. That's going to be the right inner diameter for that hose. But just being out here with the ground not 100% stable, I'm going to minimize going underneath the car as much as I can. So doing it this way here by sticking that little vacuum line in between the hoses, I was able to get it figured out. So let's go ahead and finish siphoning out as much fuel out of this tank as we can. It's going to take for, I can let it sit there like that, but that's just going to take forever. So just continue pumping it here. And see how much fuel we can actually just pull out of this tank. So that fuel gauge, when we turned the battery over there the other day, was reading 3/4 of the way full. So from the looks of it, the fuel has been pretty solid going through the hose so far. So there's probably going to be quite a bit of fuel in here. But at least this way, if I get it all siphoned out right now, when I go to flip the core, so turn the car over in a couple minutes, at least I know this way if the fuel pump kicks on It's not going to be sucking fuel out of the bad tank, right? Or sorry, out of garbage fuel out of the tank. Put some clean fuel in there once I get most of this stuff out. So it's going to continue on pumping away. So I was able to pull out about 4 gallons, about that, 4 gallons, 16 liters, somewhere around there. So I went ahead and hooked the battery up. Get our set of keys here. Turn that over. So the gas gauge now too. So she's reading 1/4 of a tank. But at this point in time, that's pretty much all I'm able to siphon out of this. Siphon out now. Because the more I'm pumping and nothing's coming out. So if I got it down there, 1/4 of a tank, that might not be reading 100% correct. So I'm probably good to go ahead and throw the tire back on it here. I've siphoned out all the fuel I pretty much can from this from the connections I have available without getting right underneath the car. So at that point in time, so what I noticed too was when I was turning the ignition over, I didn't hear the fuel pump kick on and go, and there might be a couple reasons for that. Could be because the steering column's like this and it's all torn apart, and the VATS system don't like that. So I'm not 100% sure though if the VATS system is actually tied into the ignition on these cars. It might be. I know I'm pretty sure it's the starter solenoid is not. It's tied into the VATS. So if the improper resistor is not recognized, it doesn't throw a current through it. So maybe the fuel pump system is tied into that too. I freaking hope not. But it could be just a bad fuel pump that's in this car too, and that's why it's here. Because, you know, sometimes when people own these 3rd-gen Camaros, Trans Am's, Firebirds, they just don't want to go through the minor inconvenience of tearing the back half of the car out to get to the fuel pump system to change it. But either way, let's throw a tire back on here now, hook up a trigger starter switch to the solenoid and the battery, and see if we can get this engine rotating. And then we'll determine if we should throw some gas in it from there. Perfect. So I got the switch hooked up to the solenoid and the battery here through the steering column, ignition, and accessories. So let's see if the motor rotates. Like there was some suspense there until I pressed the button and nothing happened. So let me double check some of these connections here. Make sure we got a solid connection. Maybe tap on that starter. Yeah, let's try that. Okay, perfect. So check my connections again here. Let's see what happens. We gotta do 2 hands maybe? I don't know. Let's try this one. We'll go gangster style maybe. Oh, okay, there we go. There it is. Okay, she's turned over. That's awesome. That is awesome. Okay, so let's try some fuel. All right, cool. So we got a little bit of fuel here. So let's see what she does. Open that up. Yeah, it's probably gonna help. Keep those away. Can't be snagged. Let's see if I can just reach across here. a shot again here. Yeah, right. Yes. Yes, it's not supposed to do that. The guys from GM and yeah, the other people I talked to, it's not supposed to start like that. No VATS keys. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Okay, so let's see if we can get that back going there. Oh, start our tongue up again here. There it is. Okay. So that's it. So she's firing. She's turning over. She's running. That is so awesome. So throttle body injection. So this, like I said, I don't know a whole lot about the computer electronic stuff. But anyways, so when I was opening up the carb and doing this here, so the throttle body injectors right here. So I guess they would have been pulling from the tank. So the fuel pump works because I could clearly see fuel being shot down those when I was opening up the throttle on it there. So I'm assuming, so it's running. I think it was running off that garbage fuel though. So that is freaking exciting. I'm super pumped about this. So I was told with no VATS keys, with no keys, no VATS keys, proper stuff like that. There's no way, buddy, you're getting your car running. Bring it into us. And the GM told me that. Another place told me that, and the other yard told me there too. They're like, buddy, you're not getting your car started, so don't even bother trying. 91 Firebird, she's running. No keys. The VATS system didn't stop me either. Vehicle anti-theft. So now that she's running, she's turning over. Let's try and get it running a lot longer than what it's doing. So like I seen it, so from the throttle body injectors, she was obviously clearly pulling whatever fuel is left from that tank. So let's throw some new gas in the tank that I got here in the cherry cans, and let's see if that's going to continue running with that fuel from the new tanks. From that fuel, from the good gasoline I brought. There we go. So I'll throw some new gasoline in the car here and see if we can get this thing running a bit longer. So she's running. So as long as I give it the new fuel, like as long as she's got new fuel, she's running. Oh, come on, come on. Ah, close. Okay, all right. Firebird, she's running. She's up and running. I had it running probably about a minute and a half or so that time. So as long as I'm feeding the carb new fuel, she runs, no problem. And the second I start to open up the throttle body and the injectors start pulling the fuel from the tank, that's when it chokes it out. So I need to get some new fuel. I gotta get some. I only had a little tiny cherry can of fuel over there, so I gotta get some more fuel. Put some more fuel in the tank, and I'm just gonna keep doing this here, letting it cycle, and hopefully it gets to the point where it mixes and pulls some of that new fuel. Once it starts pulling the new fuel from the tank, I'm 100% certain this car is gonna stay running, and we'll be able to give it some shots of gas, and then afterwards we can try out the transmission here and see if I can get it moving back and forth. And if I can, we're driving it out of the wrecking yard. We're bringing it to a car show. So let me light some more fuel. All right, cool guys. So that's gonna be pretty much it for the day here. So off camera, I basically just ran the car out of fuel. I kept feeding fuel down the throttle body there till basically I ran out of fresh, good fuel that I had here. So it doesn't seem to be sucking fuel from the fuel tank yet. So it's looking like it could have been a fuel pump issue. That's why the car might have been here. Also the starter, whenever you click the key, or not the key, I don't got keys yet. But when you click the starter trigger, she goes click, 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 about 10, 15 times, and all of a sudden the motor rotates. So I'm thinking the starter or the solenoid, probably an issue here too. So next to the days off I get here, I got to go back to work there tomorrow and get doing some internet installs, changing the world one internet install at a time, bringing people together to the things and places and internet websites that matter. I don't know. But anyway, I got to go back to work tomorrow. So next set of days off, we're going to come back down here, get some more fresh fuel. I might grab a starter, throw the starter in there. So we got a brand new starter in this thing here too. And see if we can get it running off the fuel tanks. And like I said, not going to quit yet. Gonna see if we can get it running off that fuel tank so I can get it moving, running, driving, drive it out of here and bring it to that car show. So, all right, guys, I'm going to pack my stuff up and I'll see you guys back here in a couple of days. Doing some internet installs today. Right there. Man, it's nice and sunny out. I'd rather be working on the Firebird. Drop some comments in the comment section if you know that feeling. Come on, let's get this day done. All right, so we're back here again on the Firebird. I had to go back to work for a couple days there, but we're all ready, set, and good to go here now. So dogs are having a fun time. Anyways, back on the Firebird here. I had to go order a new starter for it. It was giving me some issues there the other day trying to get it started. So I ordered a new starter on Friday. It's going to be here on Tuesday. Today's Monday, so I'm going to wait around another day before that arrives. In the meantime, though, went ahead, got some new V-Power spark plugs. Got those, fuel filter, and some other little things I can change out while I'm waiting for the starter to arrive. And I also was reading more on this damn VATS system stuff. So apparently the VATS system here It also controls the fuel regulator setting switch or setting pump, one of the two. But I was saying online, if I want to bypass that entirely, it says to go down here underneath the steering column. You can pull this panel out over here. Once this panel is pulled out, there's a starter relay switch in behind there. I pop out, and then I have to go in behind the center console piece over here and take the VATS module out, rewire the starter relay switch so it's jumped in here, and then everything will turn over from the steering column. So that works if you've dropped a new motor in it. So the issue that I'm having now is I haven't swapped the motor out. I'm still trying to get this thing started without a set of keys. So I've got to kind of rely on most of the original stuff that came with the vehicle. But there's too much computers. There's too many computer things in these vehicles now. So having to rely on the computer, not mechanical, because mechanical it would have fired up by now and I could have put it back and forth, drove in a bit, and just been waiting to get the truck moved out of the way. And we would have been good. But anyway, relying on the computer portion of this again, the computer needs to send a relay message to the fuel pump over here. Fuel pump will throw fuel in my throttle body injection unit. Vehicle probably run just fine. But because the VATS system controls that fuel modulator, it's not engaging that whenever I turn the ignition key because the resistance is still not correct. So I got to jump on Amazon. And when we jump on Amazon, I'm going to order up the 15-pack of resistors. And I'll show you inside here. This is the piece inside. So this is just underneath the steering column here. This plugs into a little orange wiring harness that's on the ignition lock. I took over to the locksmith to get me a key made. I got to plug this in here, or even just on the two prongs there, and put a resistor right here. And as long as it's the correct resistor, then I'll be able to start the ignition column here, because the computer will recognize the right piece that's plugged into it, and then it's going to kick on my fuel relay module switch, and I'll get fuel to my throttle body injection over there. So in the meantime, I do got spark plugs, I do got a fuel filter, and a PVC valve, so we'll quickly take a couple minutes to change those out, and then my starter will hopefully arrive tomorrow. Come back out here because I'm still on days off, change that out as well, and just wait on the resistors so I can get this resistor pack thing going so we can get the car running on the fuel pump. So anyways, I noticed I'm doing a lot of talking and explaining and stuff at this point in time, but I've really never done one of these before. Never really had to deal with the VATS vehicle anti-theft security system, getting it started with no sets of keys and everything else like that. I had an 83 in high school. It had keys and the ignition worked fine, so I never had to deal with it. So anyways, just thought I'd explain some stuff and go over it. So if this way someone is in the same scenario, you're watching me and you've got no keys for your third gen Camaro Trans Am and you're trying to get it started, deal with the vehicle anti-theft system and stuff as well, maybe this will be like a good tutorial lesson and stuff like that, and you can kind of see the steps that I went through to get the third gen Camaro Trans Am, in this case Firebird, running driving without a set of keys and with dealing with the VATS system. So all right guys, let's throw the stuff I got on for it now. That was weird English, but anyways, let's get to it. Just going ahead, just changing out all these spark plugs here in the motor while I'm waiting for the VATS module to arrive. Got the old AC spark plugs here and got some new NGK V-Power. See the V there? But anyways, go ahead, we'll get these all changed out while we're waiting around. Get something done. Get as much stuff done as I can while I'm waiting for that VATS module to arrive. So while I'm out here as well, so my car is missing the motors for the headlights. So I just went over to this other parts car. It's been sitting here, this 87, and I'm just went ahead and got the driver's side one. It's gonna quickly pop out that passenger side one, get that all working there too. So these headlights here too, they're pretty easy to remove. It's only a T15 piece. There's 4 bolts, 1, 2, 340, you can see that cover comes off, and then there's only 4 more 10 mil bullets here, one there, the second one there, one right underneath that, and then one right underneath this here as well. Then that whole assembly comes out, and there are 3 10 millimeter bullets on the motor piece here too, and that comes out. Put the motors from the other car in on both sides here. They probably took them from this car because it was probably in the best shape of the 3, but anyway, they're in there now. Let's quickly test on them, see if they work. Cool, guys, so we got the new motors in the headlights. They going up and down, flipping up and down. It's good to see. We're bringing this 3rd gen Firebird, 3rd gen Firebird back together one part at a time. So yeah, so basically what I found out is I'm going to need to get the resistors for the VATS module and tie one of those into the ignition bypass underneath the ignition so I can get this car running and driving. So what's happening is when I'm turning the key, she's running until the computer module recognizes that the improper VATS key is not recognized. Then it shuts down my fuel injectors, and it shuts down my fuel pump and everything else. It cuts off the fuel to the car so she can't run. So gonna have to get these damn VATS resistors. Nowhere local got them. Found them on eBay. eBay is a 2.5 week, almost 3 week wait. I'm 3 hours from Edmonton. I'm gonna go home. I'm gonna make some phone calls, and I'm 3 hours from Edmonton, 5 hours from Calgary. And I'm gonna go home, gonna make some phone calls, and if some, electronic automotive shop has them or something, and I can buy the 15 VAT pack, I will drive the 3 hours to Edmonton, or I will drive the 5 hours to Calgary. We will get them. We'll come back here, put them in the car, and then we'll get this thing running and driving and drive it out to the car show this weekend. There's still hope to make it to that car show. If not, there's another one I think that's coming up shortly afterwards, but still trying for the one this weekend. So I guess I have to go home, make some phone calls now, and see if I can find friggin' resistors. I'll drive 7 hours, 10 hours round trip for a $15 part. Well, let's go. So guys, literally traveled, 350 kilometers, 340, something like that, to get the last resistors at Canadian Tire in the entire province of Alberta. Let's go find my vehicle here and let's go get that Firebird started. But first though, can't start a 3.5 hour drive without a good old Canadian Tim Hortons coffee. Double. So got home from the trip there, 700 and some kilometers round trip to get these $15 pack of resistors. But anyway, these were the last 2 packs available in any Canadian Tire across our province of Alberta. I also, for whatever reason, couldn't find these in any car audio store or the parts source, Napa, any automotive supply store. But we did manage to sort through all those there, and we did find all 15 values here for the VATS resistor system. But unfortunately, the car show is tomorrow. That's the one I wanted to get the Firebird up and running for. So I'm not going to make it. On top of it, I've also been scheduled into work now too. So I might just skip out on work for a bit and go to the car show anyway, but I don't know if that's very responsible. We'll see. Well, guys, we rolled up to the car show. This is the one I wanted to take the Firebird to, but because of resistor issue, couldn't make it, couldn't get him out here. And if you see, I'm actually supposed to be working right now. So sometimes I do car things instead of work. But anyway, now that we're here, let's go check out some of the vehicles at the car show today. And even though I didn't make it to the show with the Firebird, I might have another cool, awesome idea for it. So there's actually a couple things that I custom painted here at this car show. So one of them is I custom painted this piece underneath the hood here of this 2002 Camaro 2SS. I custom painted this piece. I also did this other truck that's over here. So then for this truck here too, I also did custom airbrush center console dash piece here for him there too. So I airbrushed that up probably about a year or two ago for Chad here. So while we're here, might as well check out a couple cars at the car show there today. At some point in time, I do have to go back to work. But we got the resistors, so my next set of days off, we'll be getting that Firebird up and running. So let's check out some of the cars here and maybe get to work today. back here once again at the Firebird. Like you seen, or like you just seen, I missed the car show. I tried my best to get there, couldn't make it, but I I was also supposed to work yesterday, and I still managed to make it out to the car show. I think I was only late to work, maybe by about, give or take, 6 hours, 6.5 hours. Which, when you think about it, isn't really that bad. Because I did manage to get all the work done late in the afternoon, which is all right. So, got to go check out a car show instead, which is a lot better. So anyway, we got the 15 pack of resistors, 750 some kilometer round trip drive to get these things, $15 part. Sorted them all out, got the 15 I need here. So we're going to put these into the ignition column there, start turning those keys until eventually one of them turns over. And while we're waiting in between each of the keys to download, or the computer to unprogram itself, or whatever it does something computery, and I don't really know what it is. But anyways, got some new hood struts for the hood. We'll change out there too. I got a brand new set of keys at the dealership. Was able to cut, not a dealership in Canada, because they all said no, I had to have the vehicle registered, insured, on the road, and then they could let it go. I just kept calling until eventually a dealership in Nebraska, not Canada, Nebraska in the States, they gave me the key code here. So anyways, I'm gonna go ahead and we're gonna get this all set up and ready to go. So let's start trying these VATS keys. So I've gone ahead and I tied in the first resistor here. So the resistor ties in basically to this ignition wire. These wires run up through the underneath the steering wheel here, and this orange wire would normally run up to the lock cylinder over here, and it would read basically this resistor from the key, and it would send the signal to the VATS piece that's in behind here, and basically that's how the car would turn over. Anyway, this is number one. Got it out of all the 15 values here. So have number one plugged in there now. Make sure it's just not touching carpet's probably all right. Won't short itself out. Still has a good connection here. So theoretically, should be able to put my screwdriver key in here. And if it's the correct resistor, I should be able to turn the car over. But with this number, the first one, the security light's still on. So now that I know that's not the correct resistor, I got to give it about 7 minutes or so to wait. It's got to wait about 7 minutes. After 7 minutes, I can plug in a new resistor and then turn the old ignition key. And if the security light goes out, I know I've hit the correct resistor because it's letting the computer bypass everything, and it should fire the vehicle up. Or if it doesn't at least fire the vehicle up from the ignition column here, I should be able to get it running with the trigger switch from the battery and the solenoid. But anyway, first resistor didn't work, so I just keep on trying them. I'm going intervals here about every 7 minutes and 30 seconds. So I know I've given it plenty of time to reset its computer programming module thing. Anyways, I can change out the hood hinges, or hood props, hood lift supports. There we go. That's the correct Amazon term for them. We'll get those changed out while I'm waiting. Just going ahead and we put some new hood lift supports in there. It's good to see. Gets that big chunk of wood out the way. So when I pulled out the ignition column or cylinder the other day, I noticed there was a 15 stamped on it. I don't know for sure if that was because it was number 15, the value 15, they're like the resistor value 15 on there. Not 100% sure, but I've gone ahead and I've tied number 15 in. So let's just go ahead real quick here and just see if that's exactly what it meant. So judging by the security light staying on, yeah, it's not what it meant at all. Alrighty then. But the good news is I've only got 10 more left to go through. Cool, guys. So we're up to this is value number 13, I think. Violet, green, red, gold. Violet, green, red, gold. Anyways, so when we turn it this time on the ignition, that security light's disappearing. So we should be able to fire this thing up here from the, let's give her a go. Oh yeah. Oh, what is up? That's what I'm talking about. Oh yes. We got it running and driving, man. She's running and driving, guys. 91 Firebird, no resistor keys. Up and running. Wow. Man, does that feel great. And she's running super nice too. Like, take a look. So we have her all running here now. So just the vacuum leaks and stuff like that from the stuff that needs to be plugged in over here. But she's running. Get this door here. So as you can see, so we got no VATS keys, but we got her up and running here now. This is awesome. This is sweet. I am super happy. This is up and running. She's set to go. We're a day late for the car show, but she's running now. All right, so now I got it running. Let's get it driving. So guys, just before I go to put the car in gear, see what kind of gears we got here, I was told this would not happen. I was told by people that if you don't have the right set of keys in there, you don't have the right, don't even bother trying. Don't even bother doing what you're attempting to do by trying to wire in resistors and stuff. It's not going to work for you. You need to bring it in, get the proper key made. Everything else, guys, like I was told, just quit. It won't happen for you. Get it towed into a shop. But I'm super glad that I kept trying. I kept researching things, and because I knew there was a way. I knew there was a way. I'm like, you don't need the keys if you put the resistor in it. I'm like, yeah, we got her figured. 91 Firebird. So you know, man, just goes to show you, if you just keep trying to do things, things can happen for you. So never quit, never give up on it. You know, we got her figured out, man. She's figured out. Didn't need the key. I did need the resistor stuff. Had to learn about all the VATS system. Had to learn with the resistors and everything else like that. But she's up and running. She's running really good too. Super nice. So now we got her up and running. I'm super excited. Let's see if she's got gears. Cool, so check out the gears, see if it's got gears in it now. So it shifted in reverse, but nothing, I don't think it clicked though. Yeah, that's not looking good. That's in neutral now. So we got a neutral. That's a drive. Ooh. She might not be going anywhere. That's shifted all the way down to first here right now. We might have an issue with the transmission here. Oh yeah. There's an issue with the transmission, all right. So inside the car, so I don't feel nothing whenever I select the put it in reverse. Same with drive there too. Yeah, that's definitely not catching for the transmission at all. So we found the reason why this car would have been parked here. But anyways, all the rest of the gauges and stuff seem to be reading pretty good. It's pulling fuel from the fuel tank, which is great. So I know the fuel pump's also not bad. Battery's charging, alternator's charging. It's got good fuel or oil pressure. And the thermostat's kicking on. I noticed the fan hasn't kicked on yet though too. So it might need a fan relay. But damn, it's kind of a disappointment if it's not gonna, I got nothing. Maybe it just needs a filter and some new fluid. That's possible. So I'm just double checking the transmission fluid here. Maybe it's just low on fluid, but as you can see there, no, it's she's completely full there on the fluid. So I'm gonna have to say we got some kind of transmission problem with this car here. So I thought maybe it was maybe just the linkage here though too. But as soon as you throw it in reverse, like she kicks the idle down on the car, so it's definitely the shifter link and everything else is working good. Oh, you can hear it. Yeah, it's just the transmission's really bad. Well, we're gonna have to figure this out. Cool guys, so 91 Firebird, so she's up and running. She's not driving though. Realistically at this point, the only thing I can really do now is I can jack the car up on the very unstable ground, and we can change out the filter and put some new fluid in it, and maybe 50-50 chance it works. Like I seen Derek on Vice Grip Garage, his channel. He was working with a 1980-ish, I think it was like Mercury Grand Marquis or something like that. But he managed to, when he pulled the pan on it, it was doing the same thing. It wouldn't, no shifting. Then he pulled the pan. The pan was full of black garbage and gunk. But when he swapped out that pan with new, cleaned it all out, new filter, threw it back on there, new fluid, that car got moving, running, driving, and he drove it 600 miles back home. So there might be a chance for the Firebird yet. I'm going to go price out some parts. And if the ground's not too unstable-ish, we will change it and we'll give it one last shot. And if anything, like, there's another Firebird. Where's my, there we go. Right up there. There's another Firebird right there. And I'm assuming, like, that one was, it was driving when it got hit, I'm assuming. So that transmission works. I probably won't swap it out here in the yard because it's way too unstable. But you never know. Anyway, guys, so that's it. That's it for today. I'm not going to do the outro to the video yet. I don't want to quit yet is the thing. I don't want to quit yet. We're this close. So let's go. Let's see if I'm going to go. I'm going to at least attempt it. I got to attempt something. I can't just let it sit here. So we'll catch you guys back here in a couple days, because I'm sure with everything I've come across with this 91 Firebird, nobody's got nothing in stock. And it's probably going to be here 35 days from now. And I got to go back to work again during that period of time. So anyways, catch you guys back here when I have a solution or a resolution or the outro. One of the three is going to happen. But to end the day on a good note, so the door key that I was able to get cut from the key code that the Nebraska, you know what? That's probably why. Look at that. We're in Alberta. No wonder Nebraska helped me out here. It's been here all along, helped me out. They helped me out with a key code for it, and the key code that I got cut for the door key, she works. So least we're ending the day on a good note. So guys, we're back here one more time on the Firebird, and this is pretty much gonna be the last day on it. Unless I get this, if I get it driving though, we'll be back here one more time. So she's already jacked up, gonna throw some stands underneath those front tires here real soon. Get it supported by the Jans, what? English, Rob, English. Stands, get it supported by the stands, and basically get this transmission fluid changed out and see if we're gonna have some gears after that. I have seen it make a difference before. Hopefully, again, in my case, it does as well. And the VATS Gator bypass module showed up there today too. So we're gonna plug that into the ignition column, see if that makes a difference. So if you are watching this video and you're curious to how to get your 3rd gen Camaro Trans Am Firebird started without a set of VATS keys, this could be the easiest solution there for you. So stay tuned, we're gonna plug this in, test it out, and I'll leave all the information in the video description below. So all right guys, let's get to changing out the transmission fluid, filter, see if we can grab some gears. So just gone ahead here, stuck my tube down the dipstick drain for the transmission fluid, and we're just pumping it away. And looking at the color of the fluid that's coming out, you know, it's actually not looking the best after all. In the light, when I pulled it out of there initially, it looked pretty decent, but coming out, it's looking like, she's looking like chocolate milk. It's probably, oops, probably not a good sign. So we got the Firebird all jacked up with the jack stands here. I got it sitting on these 4x4 wooden blocks over here. And I've also got it sitting underneath a big 6x6 piece on the cross member of the frame there. I've also got these set up here too on both sides of the jack stands. I know it's a unibody car, but at least this way it is offering any extra support. So everything's all good and safe here now, so I can take a look underneath the car here. Check out what we're working with. And underneath the car, it's actually in pretty decent shape here too. It's not so bad. One little floor pan over here has got some surface rust on it, but really other than that though, it's pretty much all it is. So let's get to dropping out that transmission pan. So if you never changed these out before, so these are all 13 mil bolts on this transmission pan here. So I've got 2 bolts left to take out now. I got the one at the very top over here, and this corner bolt over here. I just cracked it just so I could drain most of the fluid out. So I'll give this here a couple minutes here, another minute or two. Let it drain most of that fluid out. It shouldn't be too bad because I siphoned everything up top already. But give it another minute or so, and let the rest of this fluid drain out. Well, the pan's down, and the fluid, well, she's a bit burnt. Like Mom's pork chops. Mom's watching back at home. She's probably getting a laugh out of that. I mean, Dad knows what I mean. Mike knows. I hear my mom, she's not burnt. She's well done. But anyways, we'll get this all cleaned up, changed out here. Let that drain there for a little bit longer. And then we'll slap in the new one. She ain't burnt. It's well done. So at the bottom of the pan, there is a lot of a lot of shavings down here, a lot of metallic, a lot of root beer candy down here. Oh yeah, there's the magnet there. There's a lot of sludge and stuff and buildup. So, anyways, you never know. We'll slap the new fluid in there and clean her up. We'll make her pretty. Throw some lipstick on her. Throw her back in there. She might do some good. Never know. So, new pan in the filter. She's set and ready to go. Sometimes when you're changing these here too, this ring comes off. So always make sure you double check that before you put it back in. And in this case, there's the old one that came out with the old filter. And as I was shaking this stuff, there's some good chunks coming out of this, but still optimistic it might do something. So let's slap that new one in there. Find out. New filter installed. So got the panel in place, tighten her down. She's all set and ready to go. Now she's pretty much ready to go. Just need some more transmission fluid. And then just actually, like while I'm here, you know, take one more look underneath the car. She's pretty solid for laying in the grass here for 10 years. She's not bad. A little bit of rust over here, but nothing, surprisingly, nothing too major underneath the car. She's looking pretty good. So that transmission fluid is definitely looking way better than the stuff that came out of this. So guys, last time we were here, we got the VATS resistor figured out, which was number 13. So this is the kit that I ordered a couple weeks ago, which was the Gator VATS bypass module. This actually just plugs right in down here, and it contains all 15 of these little resistors right inside it. So let's plug this thing in here and just see exactly how good it works. Because if you're watching the video for this to find out how to get your 3rd gen Camaro started with no keys, Camaro Firebird Trans Am, this might save you a lot of work. So let's plug her in, test her out. So essentially, so this is all it is. It just plugs, like I said, right into that little ignition key. And inside of this case, you can see here, I got it upside down. So basically it's got all 15 resistors. If you look on the top section there, 1 to 15. So I've gone ahead, and if you take a look at number 13, I've switched number 13 up. Right there, I've turned that up. So I'm on VATS resistor 13 right now. So we're going to plug this in and see exactly how this bypass module works, or if it works. It would be nice if it did. It was like 50 bucks, which actually wasn't really that bad. We got the Gator VATS bypass module all plugged in there. Like I said, it just plugs in the same place the resistor cord did in this little section right there. So I'll go ahead and we'll turn that key, my maximum key. So right there, security light turned off. So let's crank her over and see what we got. Perfect. So she works fine right away. So these 100% worth it. Then you don't have to go adding up all the values like I did on these ones. That took probably about 2-3 hours. Maybe it wasn't that long, maybe an hour and a half. But anyway, VATS Gator bypass module fires up without a key. Definitely good investment for these cars. So now let's check out and see if we got gear. But first, let's double check that fluid, and then we'll check out and see if we can grab some gears. So she's all reading full there now, so go ahead and put that back in there and take a quick look and see if she's got some gears. Alright, so we're parked. See if that did anything. Yeah, buddy! What is up? Yeah, right then. Oh, she's got gears now, boy. Woohoo! Yeah! We're driving this car out of here. That's what's up. Yes! Oh, baby! Oh, yes! That's what's up, man. That's what I'm talking about, guys. So I got super excited when we turned this thing over a couple days ago without the VATS keys, and I kept saying running and driving. Well, she's running and driving now, man. Oh, I'm super pumped on this. I'm so glad I didn't quit on this thing, and we just kept going and we kept changing things, and she's running and driving now. Oh man, I'm super pumped. I'm super pumped about this. Oh man, okay, so she's running, she's driving, we're good to go now. So I probably said that like 15 times now, but I'm going to say it one more time. She's running and driving. But anyways, set to go here. So that's pretty much all I can do for today. If you take a look over here behind me, So basically, we just got to get this one Dodge towed out of the way. And once this Dodge out the way, we can scoot the Firebird right up on out of the wrecking yard. And we can drive this thing to the car show if we can get it before the weekend. Oh yeah, we just had to find out we can get this Dodge out the way, and damn it, we can make that car show for the weekend. Oh, buddy, this is amazing. So, anyways, guys, we're gonna be back here in a couple days here, and we're gonna get this Firebird. We're gonna scoot it on. We're gonna drive it right on up out of the wrecking yard, like we like I set out for the Golf, like 14, 12, 20 days ago, 22 days ago now. I forget what it was. But initially when I seen it, I'm like, we're getting a run and drive, and we're driving it out of here. And that's exactly what's going to happen. So guys, catch you guys in a couple of days. As soon as we get that thing, we're going to hook a chain to it, tow it out, and we're getting this Firebird right out of here. We're driving right on out of here. Well, guys, Dodge been moved out of the way here. We got it all set. We got an open space here for the Firebird here. So basically, I'm just going to have to kind of maneuver it around. I got this open space here now. We're gonna get putting that steering column back together there so I can steer it, and then we can drive her on up out of here. Lost the steering wheel back in the core there. She's all set and ready to go, so I can turn everything here now. Also went up to the other car on top of the hill there too, and I got the steering column out of it. This is mainly what I wanted it for, was this nicer Pontiac wheel here. I can clean up and refurbish up and stick it in there, look a whole lot nicer. But anyways, she's all set now and ready, so let's kind of maneuver the Firebird back and forth. Austin powers it, so we can start getting in position to drive it out of here. So there she is. So this is where the Firebird was sitting for over 10 plus years. And you can really see the unevenness of this ground. Now, there's a huge mound it was sitting on here too. And it's remarkable. It's not as bad as it was, considering you can clearly see where it was laying on the ground. This is even after I pumped up the tires, but still touching the damn ground. Had to dig out these giant rocks that were there, 1, 2, 3, to get those out of the way. Jack the vehicle up, put it on the pieces of aluminum and plywood, and 2x4 over here. So she had a little ramp to... So now that we got her all freed up here, there's really only one thing left to do, and that's hop in the Firebird, drive it out of the wreck yard. So let's grab the keys and get to it. Wait, I ain't got keys. Yeah, I do. Let's do it. All right, cool guys. So we got the Firebird back in the garage here now. Finally got, this is wicked. I finally got a car in my new shop here, which is great. Finally got one of those. I haven't even got all my tools and stuff moved over here yet. Still got to get my benches up over here yet too. My 80-gallon air compressor, 60-gallon air compressor over here as well. Get that set up there. So, but we got a car in the garage, which is great. She's running, she's driving. Kind of. Yeah. So I trailered the vehicle home there the other day. Damn, camera wasn't recording. That's because I didn't hit record. I just set it up, but now I know for next time. So anyways, trailered the vehicle home, and as it was backing the vehicle off the trailer, she actually lost the gears outside, and I had no gears there for the rest of the evening. So I changed the transmission fluid and filter the other night, put another one in there, and the first time around she had some chunks and a lot of sludge and buildup and such, and the second time around, well, it wasn't much better. She had a lot of metal chunks and shavings and stuff that should not be in the transmission pan was there. And yeah, so I took it for a little drive here, just around the block here, just to see if that changed up on anything at all. And she's not shifting out of first gear. So I think it's going to probably at this point need a transmission. So also found out why it was in the wrecking yard, because it needs a new transmission or it needs this one rebuilt on. So, but either way, got the Firebird here. And other than that, though, she really only needs a couple minor things to it. New transmission, maybe the wiper blades changed out, air freshener. And I think I'm missing one of the valve stem caps for the tires here too. But other than that, though, she's a pretty solid unit. She's going to be good to go here too. And also what's sweet is I've already gone ahead and I've also found the front fender for this car and a quarter-pound replacement piece for it there too, which I can pick up in Edmonton in the next couple of weeks when I'm down there. It's only about $250, and I'm going to have everything I need to repaint the Firebird, which is great. So I'm going to do probably a budget build series, paint series on the Firebird over the winter time here in the next couple months. Because realistically, this is the only vehicle I got that has a transmission and a motor, even though the transmission don't work the best. But it's the only one I got that's got a transmission, motor, and drive chain in it. So we're going to get this painted on so I can drive it next summer, which would be really good. And it's also probably the one that's going to cost me the least amount of money that I own to get it back on the road, get it running and driving, so I can actually enjoy a classic car for the summertime. Because it's been way too long. It's been over 12 years since I've driven something classic, and it goes along pretty nicely with my logo too. All right, cool guys. So that's gonna be it for today's video. If you haven't already, be sure to hit that subscribe button. Don't forget to leave your comments down below in the comment section. If you guys take the time out to leave me comments, I'm gonna make sure I take the time out to reply to you. I appreciate you guys watching the channel, and I appreciate you guys leaving comments for me there too. So let me know what you think of the Firebird. I had a really fun time doing this project here, especially because it was a challenge I had to go learn a bunch of the stuff with the VATS, the vehicle anti-theft system, I didn't know about before. So I had to go research up on that, learn about it so we can get the car started without the VATS keys. So I had an excellent time with it. It was really good. And like I said, I'm going to do a paint series on this thing here too. I'm going to get this thing all painted up next couple months there too, because it's already September and snow will be flying here in Alberta next month. So it's basically winter again. Yeah. Anyways, might end up painting it back to this blue color. Let me know in the comment section. Do you guys like the blue? I like the blue. I think it looks really good. So if not this blue, I do got a really nice blue on my shelf there too. But I'm thinking just by looking at it here too, with the parts that I mentioned, the quarter pounder of the fender, probably a brand new set of tires because these are all cracked here too, and maybe even exhaust. I could probably redo this thing for less than $2,500. So, which is good. Gets me driving something, like I said, for next summer. While I'm saving and putting money away for my 58 Impala and the 71 Chevelle that I'm working on. That's it's going to take a little bit more than $2,500 to get those on the road. But I do got some cool paint projects I'm doing there in the future there too, that allow me to save up some bigger money for those. So I can get back on those here right away as well. But anyways, guys, thanks again for watching for today's video. Thanks for sticking around to the end of it. And until next time, remember, if it's not raglan, it's not custom. Catch you guys in the next episode. Take care.